Welcome to Based on a Book, the podcast that has been in the lab all month, reading, watching, and analyzing as we prepare to bring you 12 different Frankenstein adaptations. I'm your mad scientist, Lindsey, here to guide you through the first half of this crazy experiment.
I'm Crystal, and I still seriously hate Victor Frankenstein.
I'm Keri, and today's episode is sponsored by The Audacity.
This Maid of Madness March is the beginning of our experiment where we break down the creature and Frankenstein.
Yep, basically.
We've read Mary Shelley's original novel, the blueprint that sparked the forbidden act of creation itself, and now it's time to see which cinematic creature best captures the spirit of the text. Faithfulness, atmosphere, performances, moral complexity. We're gonna measure it all.
Yeah, we are.
But before we begin shocking these adaptations to life, let's go over the rules of the experiment. So with each matchup in round one, we will be evaluating and using our established rating system, and we'll debate, defend, and maybe dramatically monologue our way to a winner. And by the end of this episode, half of our bracket will advance, and the rest will be sent back to the grave.
Oh, R.I.P.
To keep this tournament fair across eras, genres, and budgets, we created a 6-part rating system that focuses on adaptation quality. First is themes. We're looking at how well each version engages with the core ideas of Frankenstein. So, obsession, responsibility versus abandonment, the consequences of ambition, and isolation. This isn't about copying the book word for word, it's about understanding Shelley's philosophical heart. Each category is scored 1 to 5, with 5 meaning a deep, intentional, and coherent vision. Second is character integrity. We evaluate Victor's moral decay, the creature's suffering and symbolism, and whether motivations feel emotionally clear. So this is judged within the adaptation's own era and genre, again, 1 to 5, from hollow or incoherent to rich and purposeful characterization. Third is intent and execution. What kind of adaptation is it? Faithful, reimagined, satire, inspired by, and does it commit to that goal? A 5 means the concept and execution are fully aligned and confidently realized. Fourth is atmosphere and tone. Does it capture the gothic dread, tragedy, horror, or melancholy that defines Frankenstein? Fifth is cohesion and craft. This is about narrative clarity, pacing, editing, and structure. Is it tight and purposeful, or disjointed and uneven? Then we have our bonus points. You get 1 point for creative risks that truly pay off, 1 point for a particularly strong or iconic creature interpretation, 1 point for cultural or historical impact, like did it shape how we see Frankenstein? And finally, we have the golden buzzer, which is 2 bonus points. We can only use it once in the entire tournament when an adaptation does something extraordinary. Each adaptation earns a total score, and the higher score advances.
And shout out to Lindsey for making this insane rating system.
Seriously.
Which was honestly so helpful as we watched every single adaptation for this. It honestly helped me so much breaking down each movie that we watched because it was difficult going through like every era.
I'm really glad it helped. At the beginning of the year, I created my own rating system so I could get better at rating what I'm reading, whether it's for the podcast or personally. So I'm actually really glad it helped you guys because it was actually kind of fun to make.
Yeah, I was like, I need to start using this rating system whenever I'm watching adaptations in general.
Seriously, I've already kind of like saved a copy of this so that I can adjust it for different titles. I found it really helpful for taking out a lot of like, okay, well maybe the costumes weren't perfect, but everything else kind of really fit. You know, like just stuff like that. Like maybe the special effects were not as grand as I hoped, but did they get the tone? You know, it really helped me to focus on the important parts of telling the story.
Yeah, it was like helping balancing my feelings of overall how I felt about the movie.
I'm very much I rate everything on vibes, always have.
Oh yeah, that's how I am.
And that's not fair, especially for something like Frankenstein that has been adapted in so many different ways by so many different amazing, you know, screenwriters and directors, you know, to try and say like, the vibe was off on this one, when it just might not be my vibe, but that doesn't make it a bad adaptation. So I loved this, Lindsey, and it helped so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yay. I'm really glad. That's awesome. But now it's time for round 1.
I'm so excited.
We're going to get into this. I was going to make some comments about one of my adaptations, but I was like, no, I got to save it because we need to get into this.
I'm scared.
We have not talked about our experiences watching these, because that's what we do on this podcast. Like, we like to keep our reactions to each other and what we experienced fresh for each episode. So we've been like saving this for this moment.
I'm excited and nervous.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
But for each matchup, we'll start by giving quick context, the year, what kind of adaptation we're dealing with, and then 2 hosts will be facing off, and we will reveal our highest scores, our lowest scores, and then we may or may not argue. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes.
And our first matchup is actually going to be Keri's Frankenstein and Lindsey's Frankenstein.
What do you know?
Here we go. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You are good. Go ahead.
Okay. So mine is Frankenstein 1910, right? That's my first one, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's 116 years old.
I know.
Okay.
Math.
Yeah. Remember whenever I was freaking out about watching this? Remember my reaction from the last episode?
Frankenstein 1910.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
From the wheel.
Usually it's me who gets all of the old adaptations, so I'm really excited that I didn't this time.
Yeah. I was like, please don't get it. And the wheel said otherwise. But yes, Frankenstein 1910 film. This is a 12-minute silent horror film produced by Edison Studios. Yes, Edison Studios, as in Thomas Edison. As in Thomas freaking Edison. Yeah, that guy. This short motion picture is widely recognized as the very first screen adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. The cast features Augustus Phillips as Victor Frankenstein and Charles Ogle as Frankenstein's monster. This film is actually pretty cool. It was believed to be lost for a long time until after it was released as public domain, and then it was restored and available on YouTube.
That's awesome.
So, down to the scores. My total score was 18 points for this one. Okay. My lowest score was character integrity, because there were moments with the creature that just didn't align with the Frankenstein story. My highest score was atmosphere and tone, which was a 4.
Wow.
4 out of 5. And then character integrity, lowest score was a 2 out of 5.
Okay. Very nice.
All right, Lindsey.
So I got the 1931 Frankenstein. This is the iconic Boris Karloff Frankenstein. Honestly, I'm not even going to say much more than that. That's all you got to know. It's Boris Karloff.
Yeah, that's all you got to know.
He is the Halloween decoration. So I gave this one a total of 19 points.
Oh no.
Oh, we are going to argue.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here it
Oh.
goes.
My lowest score was character integrity, which I gave a 3 out of 5. He's not Victor Frankenstein in this. He is Henry Frankenstein.
Okay.
There doesn't appear to be like any moral decay. The creature also kind of lacks. He's iconic in visuals, but like as far as his character, it's just lacking. My highest score was cohesion and craft. I gave it 4 out of 5. Overall, it's just a good story. It's a good Frankenstein.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Very interesting.
I did not expect this right off the bat. So.
I did not either. I mean, we're both like iconic Frankenstein adaptations. Very first one on screen. Lindsey, I'm pretty sure, did I read that yours was the first one that incorporated like the storm and lightning into an adaptation?
I think so. This one had a lot of firsts.
Yeah. I thought I read that because you know how that's not really in the original book. There's not like this whole storm thing that happens that brings the creature to life. The way that my creature comes to life is actually through like a boiling pot of something. And that's how it comes to life. So I was like, when does that start? Like, when do they start?
When did they go to lightning?
When did they go to lightning? And I think it's with the one that was in, that's yours.
The 1931. Yeah. This one it's honestly groundbreaking. This one is the adaptation that so many other adaptations relate to, but it's also really early. It's 1931.
Yeah. I mean, mine was the first one. I mean,
right, exactly.
I mean, mine was the first. So
yeah, but did it influence others?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that I couldn't argue that it did influence other adaptations, especially the creature. The creature, I think it was a creative interpretation of the creature, but I don't think that it would be like widely recognized as Frankenstein's creature. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, I know Lindsey's adaptation in my 12-minute silent film. I don't know if it'll make it. I don't think it'll make it.
My Boris Karloff is on our rating sheet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is actually really interesting because the way they changed it, it was made to focus on like the psychological aspects of the story rather than the horror parts. So they actually changed the ending a little bit where whenever like the creature comes to see Victor, he sees like Victor and Elizabeth like in love, and it like changes his perspective on life and everything.
Oh,
and is he healed?
Yeah, he's healed, and he sees like a mirror and goes through the mirror and disappears. So it's like really bizarre and strange, but I think that it was very creative. Like I put a point for creative risk on that one because I think that the way that they did that whole thing for like a silent film was kind of insane. Also, the way that they created the creature, he was in like a boiling pot of water basically, and they kept like closing the door and like opening it to check what state the creature was in, and you could tell that they were filming it backwards. In it because like in order to show that it was growing into like a creature,
right?
So like how the silent film was like filmed. So that was interesting.
Yeah,
I knew this one was done. My 18 points. It was a close one though, Lindsey.
That was really close. Yeah,
it was really close. It was closer than I expected. That's awesome.
It's really funny. My parents also watched this one with me and rated it. And they're like, this is our golden buzzer. I'm like, okay, you guys. Okay. All right, Lindsey, you got it.
All right. So our next matchup is going to be Lindsey versus Crystal. I'll go first.
All right, what you got?
All right. So my next one is Curse of Frankenstein, 1957. This adaptation stars Christopher Lee as the creature. Another iconic creature.
Yep.
I gave this one a total of 23 points.
Oh,
wow.
That's a high one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
My lowest score was cohesion and craft. I gave it a 3 out of 5. The pacing was a little off on this one for me. And my highest score was atmosphere and tone. I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yep. This one nailed Victor Frankenstein.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Crystal.
So, interestingly, I don't think we planned this either. Mine is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein from 1994. It was written by Steph Lady and Frank Darabont. Right. With a fairly iconic cast. It has Kenneth Branagh as Victor Frankenstein, as well as Robert De Niro as the creature. Helena Bonham Carter is in this. Aidan Quinn is in this. John Cleese. A lot of other recognizable stars. I rated this 22 points.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is already starting off insane.
This is where it gets... Okay, so my highest categories were themes and character integrity. I gave 5 to each one because although there were some minor changes, the overall motivations and attitudes of these characters were spot on, if you ask me. The themes were really, really well represented in this movie. Atmosphere and tone didn't quite get that haunting vibe that I was looking for, so that was down to a 3. I did not give any of mine a golden buzzer. None of them to me were the one that I was going to fight for. But if I were going to do it, it would be this one. So I don't know that I want to fight for it, though. I want to hear more about Lindsey's.
Okay.
Because for it to be this amazing, I want to know more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this one, while I really did enjoy the 1931 version for what it was, I felt like this one really nailed the gothic mood. This one was it wasn't scary, but the horror atmosphere was absolutely there. Dread, tragedy, melancholy, it was there. It was dark. This one, the creature is also kind of disturbing. I want to say the creature in this one is kind of relatable to Guillermo del Toro's creature in the 2025 Frankenstein, just the way he looks. Whereas, the 1931 version, he had the flat head and the bolts coming out. It's almost cartoony now.
Right.
So this one looked like a corpse put together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say Robert De Niro as the creature, to me, was just impeccable. I don't think that there will ever be a creature that I like as much as Robert De Niro as the creature. I didn't recognize him as Robert De Niro at all. I ended up looking it up afterwards and being like, holy, that was Robert De Niro. I had no idea. He was just that creature-y. He did it so well. I think, honestly, I think I'm willing to give this one up and not give it the golden buzzer because legitimately the story does kind of go off the rails a little bit in the middle. It starts out so incredibly close to the book. It ends really incredibly close to the book. But the middle with the creation of the creature is a little wackadoodle. There's a whole extra storyline kind of added in about Elizabeth going to visit him, which she never did in the book, that I'm still not really sure why it was even in the movie.
That was in both of my adaptations, Elizabeth going to visit.
Yeah, and the cholera came up in a couple of my adaptations, which I don't really remember that being as big of a deal in the book. In fact, I don't really remember it being mentioned, but it's it's the right time frame. So I was like, well, maybe I just missed that part. But I will say this, my favorite thing when I was looking this one up was Frank Darabont said, "This is the best script I ever wrote and the worst movie I've ever seen." So it was not super well received. It got like mediocre reviews across the board. I probably like it more because it hits more of a little bit of the creepy crawlies without being quite as, and like I said, it doesn't have the super haunting, but the themes and the character integrity were just intense. They were so good. But yeah, I think I'm happy to give this one up to Lindsey's Curse of Frankenstein.
He's like, wait, what was your points again, Crystal?
22 points.
And Lindsey, yours was 23?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so close. Okay.
It's so close.
All right.
Are they all going to be like this, you guys?
Lindsey strikes again.
Lindsey got all the good ones.
I'm not going to lie. I felt really bad because my first 3 were really good.
Well, lucky for you.
Yeah.
It must be nice.
Speaking of, our next matchup is going to be Keri versus Lindsey.
This better not be your really good one, Lindsey. Lindsey, this I'm going to fight you on.
We're going to fight.
Let's do
Lindsey,
it.
I'm going to fight you on this one.
Ding, ding, ding. Let's go.
I'm ready to fight, honestly. I'm ready to fight.
On this one?
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
I had Dan Curtis's Frankenstein, 1973. It's roughly a 2.5-hour television adaptation of Frankenstein, written by Sam Hall and Dan Curtis, the creator of Dark Shadows. The film stars Robert Foxworth as Victor Frankenstein and Bo Svensson as the monster. They actually call him the Giant in the credits. This was a 2-night special on ABC's Wide World of Mystery, but it was overshadowed by a quick follow-up of Frankenstein, the True Story, which is the other adaptation that I had covered that I will be talking about later, released in the same year. And this was listed, Lindsey, as the very first most faithful adaptation that was on screen yet at the time. My score on this one was a 25.
Whoa.
This is my golden buzzer, people. This is my golden buzzer.
Oh my God. All right, Keri.
Oh my.
I had Terror of Frankenstein from 1977, also known as Victor Frankenstein, which I did not know, and it confused me because I went to look it up. And I couldn't find Terror of Frankenstein.
Wait, I was going to say, aren't you covering another one called Victor Frankenstein?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is Terror of Frankenstein 1977. This is a super low budget movie. It is also actually known as one of the adaptations of Mary Shelley's original novel that follows the source material the most.
Oh no.
No way. No way.
And
I wish I had popcorn right now watching you two. Okay, I'm gonna pretend.
I gave this one a total score of 25.
No way. No way, Lindsey.
This is my golden buzzer.
Oh my God.
You guys.
This was not planned. We did not play. I changed this lineup at the last minute.
Okay.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating.
I need some popcorn.
Okay.
Did you do your highest and lowest scores?
No, I don't think I did.
Go ahead, do your highest and lowest scores. And
okay. I'm sweating right now. All right. Lowest score was Atmosphere and Tone at a 3. It's pretty low budget, as it is a television movie. So a lot of what you would expect for like the gothic vibes are like not exactly there. Like it's getting the job done, but not exactly there. Highest was theme and intent and execution. They did an excellent job bringing the obsession with Victor's character, the dread when it came to the consequences of his actions, the creature's isolation. This creature had you feeling so emotional through this movie. Like, I had tears in my eyes during this movie. I wanted to cry. Super faithful to the story with like a few exceptions considering the budget. And it was very committed to the source material, for sure.
Okay. My lowest score was cohesion and craft. I gave it 3 out of 5. There's like this weird kite flying scene where Victor's running through a field with a kite and he like trips and falls over, and that's how he decides he's going to bring the creature to life. He's gonna pull a Ben Franklin and have the lightning strike the kite.
There were multiple Ben Franklin moments in 3 of my adaptations, so I'm gonna assume it came from you, that from your adaptation.
Possibly. Interesting.
Possibly. My highest score was themes. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Obviously, it nailed the theme because it was very accurate to the story, with, like you said, a few exceptions. The creature has his time watching the Delaney family. That's her name, Delaney?
DeLacy.
DeLacy.
Oh, yes.
I knew it was something.
I was like, who are we talking about?
He watches them, so we do have that moment of him learning how to speak and act and everything. So my creature's actual look, I guess, about him, he didn't look like the creature. He looked like a man wearing lipstick. So
okay.
That would be like my only fault for the creature.
Mm-hmm. My creature was like a very large man, and he had like blondish hair, but he had like marks all over his body where like it looked like he would have been like stitched up or something.
I don't know.
So he had that whole look about him where it was like very obviously supposed to be Frankenstein's creature.
Yeah, he didn't have any like visible scars or stitches or anything. His hands did look funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like the skin looked really loose.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay.
No.
Did you have lipstick. Like the entire like scene? The scene that was cut out of mine completely was where you have like they're in the Arctic or whatever, and they're on, Victor goes to the ship. He's found on the ship. Did they have that scene?
Yeah, mine started with Victor in the Arctic and the boat. What did yours?
Mine does not have that. It completely cuts out that storyline.
No, mine has it with Victor finding the boat, then bringing him on board, him telling the story of the creature. William's in it. The creature kills William.
Yeah, that's how mine is too.
I didn't have a Justine. My last one did have a Justine, but I didn't have one in this one. There is a Henry, and the creature does kill Henry. It is a little different. Apparently in this one, Henry is like an avid rock climber or something. He's like a professional. I don't know. So he's climbing up this rock face while Victor is off on some island creating the creature's bride.
Mm-hmm.
And the creature finds out that Victor has given up and he's not going to do it. So he's like, okay, bet. And then he goes and kills Henry. Helps him up the cliff, then pushes him off.
Yeah. Mine goes like more in the direct. So mine actually has where Victor's not working by himself. He's working with like 2 other people in the beginning where they're involved in like that whole process of like creating the creature and stuff. They're like colleagues basically. And where one of them actually dies and they use the friend's heart in the creature.
Oh.
Which is super interesting. I actually like that. I added it within like my creative risk score where I enjoyed like this extra element of that. I also enjoyed where they went, whenever the creature went to watch the other family, and is observing the other family. The character that's blind is a woman. And I thought that was interesting. Like, they had, like, a different type of connection that I felt was very gentle, because the creature feels like, in mine, it's, like, much more of, like, a gentle giant type, if that makes sense. And, like,
Yeah.
that's kind of how it felt in this entire movie, is, like, very gentle giant, and, like, he meets this, like, woman, and this woman is, like, being very, like, sweet to him, and, like, the family comes, and, like, everything goes to crap, right? But I liked those. They're different from the original source material, but I thought it was a creative risk that was, like, a good thing. And I thought it made it better. And I thought it made it more entertaining. And I also liked just, like, the changes to the creature. That might not be the best thing for some people, people that like it to stick to the source material, but I think it was really good for this. And it made it much more entertaining to watch. And I felt very emotionally connected to the story because of it.
And you did have an Elizabeth in this one?
Yes, I did. Oh gosh, Lindsay, what are we gonna do? Crystal?
I have an idea. So instead of talking about the things that you think your movies did really well, what is something that you wish your movie had, or that your movie kind of lacked in? And we'll decide between the two of them which one had the bigger impact.
Lindsay, you go first.
Honestly, the only thing I can think of that I wish would have been different was the look of the creature. He didn't look like the creature. Everything else was good. It's low budget, so the acting's not perfect. There's really no visual effects. Like, it's pretty bland, but the actual story's all there.
Yeah.
Okay. Keri, what did yours lack?
I think maybe, like, I really liked the story of, because mine was also low budget, I really enjoyed in the original story the fact that at the end, where Victor's, like, hitting his limit on this entire situation, he's chasing the creature across, forever, trying to find him. And we get to see that epic journey at the very end. And we don't really get that. He's kind of still, like, chasing him locally, trying to find the creature. And eventually, like, the ending is kind of, like, silly, where as he's trying to find the creature and is gonna, like, basically kill him, he, like, trips and falls on some, like, debris and, like, gets stabbed by it. And then the creature finds him, like, dead and is like, oh my god, like, is, like, freaking out, like, Victor. And then he's, like, shot by, like, authorities. Yeah. So my ending was kind of lame. My ending was kind of lame.
My ending was pretty true to the story.
Oh,
this is hard.
Victor
because
dies
this
on the
is
boat.
so hard.
I'm totally willing to bow out.
Honestly,
they're both so close.
They're both so close, and an iconic creature look is important to the story because everybody was supposed to be scared of him immediately, just on looks alone.
That's what I'm saying. He was not scary at all. I don't know why they were scared of him. He was just wearing dark lipstick.
Yeah.
I mean, a
my
man in lipstick in the 70s. Whoa.
Yeah. I feel like my creature was a really good creature. I feel very strongly about that.
I can totally bow out.
Yes, my golden buzzer.
Well, we can't let Lindsay win all of them.
Yeah, true. Wow, we just took like 15 minutes deciding on that.
I don't think any of us expected that the first 3 matches would all be this close.
No, absolutely not.
So, of course, that means the 4th match has to be easy.
Don't worry, it's going to be super short.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Well, you don't know that. You don't, I mean.
I'm pretty sure I do know that.
All right, let's go.
Next matchup is Lindsey versus Crystal. And this is my last adaptation. This was Victor Frankenstein, 2015.
It's a sigh for me.
It's a required sigh. So this Frankenstein has such an amazing cast. Let me just start off with this cast includes Daniel Radcliffe, James McAvoy, Andrew Scott, and Charles Dance.
Okay.
Amazing cast.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
My total score?
Oh, no.
9.
Oh, that took my breath away.
Okay. Well,
I didn't know we could get that low.
Yep. I had to count it 2 or 3 times because I was like, wait, did I do the math right? Yeah, that's a 9.
That
That's a
took my
9.
breath away.
okay, so what did it do well?
So the highest score, intent and execution, I gave it a 2 out of 5.
It's the highest score.
Wow.
So
Did you give it 0 somewhere? Shoot, Lindsay.
So this one was obviously inspired by the idea
Mm-hmm.
of Frankenstein. And it committed to that. But that's about it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I feel like, okay, so first of all, I'm gonna win this round. It's not gonna be an argument, but I think that there are gonna be people who are about to be mad at me. This is up against my Frankenstein from 2025, the Guillermo del Toro that just came out, that has been nominated for 9 Academy Awards. I would like to remind everyone now that we are not looking for the best movie. We are looking for the best Frankenstein. So I gave this one a total of 21 generous points because I was afraid of people coming for me. I'm not going to lie. At first I had this at 19. I did give it a bonus point for really good creature interpretation and the cultural and historical impact because of the 11, where did I write it? 9 Academy Awards. 9 Academy Award nominations is huge. So that is a cultural impact, whether I like that or not. Was this a good movie? Absolutely. Loved the movie. Was this a good Frankenstein? I mean, obviously better than Lindsay's.
I think anything would be better than mine.
I gave it top points in themes because absolutely did it nail the themes of Frankenstein. I gave it top points in atmosphere and tone because there is no denying how haunting this movie is, how creepy and menacing just the whole movie is. The atmosphere is amazing. But character integrity, I only gave 2 points because these are not the same characters. Their motivations are a little different, whether or not their story arc for each character is a little different. Victor's still a douche, but the rest are a little different. Victor's motivations are a little different. And so I gave that a 2. Maybe I could be talked into 3 if we had to go there, but really, it's an amazing movie. Just, in my opinion, not quite the best Frankenstein. Not quite. Better than Lindsay's.
Yeah.
But apparently the 1970s had all the good ones, so...
Right. I didn't give this any bonus points, but I wrote next to bonus, only if the historical impact is being the worst Frankenstein movie ever made.
Well, sorry about that to all the big names that were in that one. Better luck next time.
Oh my gosh. I love that movie. But I totally know what you mean.
Mine are crystals.
I mean...
Crystals.
Okay. I was like...
I've never seen yours, Lindsay.
Don't.
Oh, I haven't seen any other Frankensteins except for the ones that I watched for this ever. So this is my, first foray into any of them. And all of the ones that I got were from 1992 was the oldest one. So I got all the new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and watch y'all's. I'm gonna.
I was gonna say, that's so different than what we usually do.
I know. Normally I get all the old stuff, and so I'm kind of shook. I don't know what to do with half of this info.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's funny.
So yeah, definitely no match there. Crystal wins.
For sure. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, based on Lindsay's 9, I'm a little worried about what's about to happen in this next round. But
well, our next round is Keri versus Crystal.
You want to go first? Or you want me to?
I mean, yours is from the 70s, so I'm a little worried that this might be too easy for you.
Oh, trust me, it won't be. It won't be.
All right, then.
Ooh.
All right.
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
Got Frankenweenie from 2012. However, this is a remake from the 1984 short film, both written and directed by Tim Burton. This is interesting. The original, the 1984, is live action, believe it or not.
Oh.
Right. I watched that one, and it's starring, of course, I closed the tab, but the same actor who was Sebastian in The Neverending Story, which came out the same year. So at first I was like, that kid looks, like that's how that went. As an 80s kid, I've seen that kid so many times, not even funny. But I gave this a 17. I was a little shocked. The intent and execution, atmosphere, and tone both got 4. It is a Tim Burton film. So it did have that atmosphere and tone of the creepy, of the haunting, of the mysterious, of the menacing, the way Tim Burton can do so well. Intent and execution, shockingly good. Still, however, not Frankenstein. So we gave this a 2 in character integrity. Yeah. I liked this Victor. That was a problem.
Yeah, immediately that's when we know something's wrong.
Yeah. I liked this Victor. I wanted to give him a big hug. I felt like, poor Victor.
Yeah.
That's, that ain't right. But legitimately, though, the rest of the characters who had like slightly different name, it was inspired by, obviously. But the rest of the characters actually kind of did follow a lot of the original character kind of arcs and attitudes and, kind of character tropes of the original Frankenstein. So I thought that was interesting that the main characters did not, but that one did. So
yeah. All right.
What you got there, Keri?
Going against my Frankenstein true story from 1973. This is a British made-for-television film. This is the one I talked about earlier that came out the same time as the Dan Curtis one. That they were like competition against each other. A British made-for-television film, loosely based on the original novel. The cast included Leonard Whiting as Victor, Jane Seymour, and James Mason as characters not in the book. Just, characters that are added in here. This was originally broadcasted on NBC in late 1973 in 2 90-minute parts. I gave this a 13.
Well,
13. So Frankenweenie is gonna keep on going.
How?
It's gonna keep on going. My highest.
Don't understand.
I know. My highest. I don't even want to talk about it. I just don't even want to talk about it. My highest was in atmosphere and tone and cohesion and craft at 3. Like, sure, yeah, there was cohesion in the story. I don't know what the story was. It wasn't this story that it's supposed to be, but there was cohesion and craft in there, I guess. Everything else was a 2 for me. Everything else was a 2.
Okay.
But I did give it a creative risk point because of the Frankenstein creature's interpretation. This one is interesting, you guys. And I want to talk about this because I know it's not going anywhere. It's not moving forward into the next round. This one has it where the creature is created and it's like a beautiful man, gorgeous man that wakes up. But it like the creature slowly like basically is like disintegrating because it's like basically like a corpse walking around. And it's like in society, like immediately waking up, learning things, and is walking around in society with Victor like it's his best friend or something. And then it's slowly starting to like get boils on its neck or something. And like slowly like his skin is like coming off and stuff like that.
Okay.
So then he's like going into hiding and people are starting to be afraid of him. And then we get to the part where he's requesting to get a companion. Companion is made. Companion is created, and that's Jane Seymour's character. I think her name is Agatha in the movie. And there's this scene where I need to talk about this. Straight up like animal cruelty in this movie, where she's legitimately holding a cat that's a real cat and like pretending to strangle it, and the cat's like trying to get out of her hands in the legitimate movie. So warning on that if you ever watch that, because I was like shocked seeing that.
Minus points.
Yeah, minus points on that. And also, Victor's not the original creator. It's Henry. Henry Clerval is the original creator, and like Victor's like his assistant person, basically. Also, a character in my movie is Dr. Polidori. Hello?
They just added John in there?
Yeah. I guess it's like based on a character from Bride of Frankenstein. I haven't seen Bride of Frankenstein, but that's what it says. I don't know, but I don't care. I hated that movie. I was like, this is like, feels like it's 3 hours. It feels like 6 hours. Like, I wanted it to be done. It was a really bad movie. Not as bad as Lindsey's.
Yeah, no.
Not as bad as Lindsey's, but
Nothing bad as
definitely not a good adaptation for sure. So Frankenweenie keeps on going.
How?
I love it. Go Frankenweenie.
Legitimately only because of Tim Burton. He just somehow gets that. Why hasn't he done an actual Frankenstein?
I don't know.
Seems like right up his alley.
Yeah.
I mean, he did Corpse Bride. That was close.
Oh, I love Corpse Bride. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
All right. So our final matchup is Keri versus Crystal. Again.
Crystal, what is that face?
This one is so off the rails.
Okay. I thought I was going to have to start fighting again.
No, please no.
Okay, well, you go first because I'm excited. I want to hear this.
I'm afraid though, because based on some of these other ratings, this one might go through. It better not.
I would be shocked.
So I have Frankenstein from 1992, which was actually kind of hard to find. Some places claim it's from 1993. It is not. It is originally aired in 1992. It's starring Patrick Bergin as Victor Frankenstein and Randy Quaid as the creature. Randy Quaid, Uncle Eddie from National Lampoons. That Randy Quaid as the creature. I mean, I really feel like that's all I have to say. I gave this hold on, let me do my math again. 2, 4. Yeah, 12 points. 12 points. This is not good. The highest was Intent and Execution at a 3 because it tried, and there were parts that were like, okay, I see that. And I gave it a point for creative risk because the creature and Frankenstein, Victor, were psychically linked so that any injury or harm that came to the creature, Victor also felt. That was different from anything else I had seen.
Okay.
Also, the creature was made rather than from spare parts or sourced parts, sourced materials. It was made like some sort of weird, like cloning type situation where he like used magnetic resolution to copy himself into this vat of liquid that was like rolling vat of liquid type situation. And so that's why they were psychically linked, is because he was kind of like a clone. Yeah, I gave it a 12. Carry on.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, mine this is my last one. Frankenstein from 2004. This one is a miniseries premiered on the Hallmark Channel in 2 parts. And it is widely known as the most faithful adaptation.
I'm so afraid that you said Hallmark Channel, and I went, please don't let mine win.
No.
Okay.
It is known as the most faithful adaptation to Mary Shelley's novel. Actors include Alec Newman as Victor, Dan Stevens as Henry Clerval, and Luke Goss as the creature. Also, surprise, I have Donald Sutherland as the Captain Robert Walton.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. So this one was complicated for me to score because it is 100% extremely faithful to the T on this one. Like, to the point that I was like, oh my gosh, like every scene that you think wouldn't be in here is in this movie. But I gave it a total of 23 points.
Okay.
You're like, please don't let this one go through.
I could not stand it.
My highest scores: theme, character integrity, execution, all 5 points. Like, this was a pure, to the source material Frankenstein. I mean, this is like a Hallmark. Like, this premiered on Hallmark Channel, but like the acting was really good. I really liked it. But I will warn, there's again a lot of animal cruelty in this one that I did not like watching. But it was just like to the T, exactly like if you want a faithful adaptation, like it's got all the things. But, if we're looking for the best Frankenstein, does that mean it's 100% faithful to the source material? I don't know that yet, and that's what this whole thing is about. But my lowest was cohesion and craft because it wasn't super entertaining. It was actually very slow. I rated that a 3. It
Okay.
was extremely slow. It wasn't super exciting a lot of the moments. There were like really high moments, and then they'd be like kind of just like a little boring, and then there would be like, it wasn't very exciting in my opinion. But the creature, which I think is really interesting, it reminds me a lot of Del Toro's creature interpretation, where has the shoulder length like black hair, obviously a lower budget. Kind of reminded me of the guy from Warm Bodies a little bit, very zombie looking. But yeah, so this one's gonna be like very interesting in our second round to compare with the other ones.
Okay.
But obviously not in this one.
No.
But yeah, I
Well,
think
yeah, that's. We'll see. We'll see.
we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah.
Poor Crystal.
Oh, darn.
You said, oh, darn. I can't believe Frankenweenie made it to the next one.
I'm shook.
Yeah.
I'm shook.
That's going to be fun.
And just like that, round 1 is complete.
Yes, we did it.
Did we, though?
We did.
Advancing to the next stage of our experiment, we have Lindsey's Frankenstein, 1931. Lindsey's Curse of Frankenstein, 1957. Keri's Frankenstein, 1973. Crystal's Frankenstein, 2025. Crystal's Frankenweenie, 2012. And Keri's Frankenstein, 2004. We each have 2 adaptations moving on to the next round.
How did that even happen?
We didn't plan this.
I cannot believe that. That's insane.
Yay!
And the rest of the adaptations have been sent back to the Shadow Realm.
Bye.
Right.
See ya.
But the storm
R.I.P.
isn't over yet. Next week, the competition intensifies as our remaining adaptations battle it out to determine which version of Frankenstein truly captures Shelley's vision, and which creature will rise above them all. Make sure you're following us on all socials so you don't miss a single matchup or bracket update. And check out our custom Frankenstein scorecards in the show notes. Tell us which Frankenstein adaptation is your favorite, whether it's featured in the tournament or not, and use our rating system to show us why it's superior or why it sucks.
Yep.
Until next time, beware the consequences of your own actions, and we'll see you in the next chapter of Based on a Book. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.